Welcome back to the National Hopes event, brought to you by Uncle Pop, Glory Kids, WAI Specialist, Table Tennis Australia. At Loops Table Tennis, I'm sitting with the Rogues, the Rogues, the Rodriguez, Frank, the man of Queensland. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you very much.
So far, so good, Frankie?
So far, so good. We had a very good training camp this week, and it comes to an end with the Hopes tournament. A lot of quality so far in all the matches, a lot of focus from the players. Very good to see.
Taleisha
Gaeta. Taleisha Gaeta.
The Gaeta against... So tell us about Gaeta.
So Taleisha plays in Townsville, so where George Logothetis is the head coach. She started table tennis 2 years ago, and she's training 4 to 5 times a week. So on her way to the top of the national level.
Connie Fsihogios, the giant killer, playing in the senior level. Doesn't look not much in stature, but she's competing at the highest level in the country over the last few months. This is going to be a big ask for Taleisha, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a very hard match, but it's also great for experience to play against someone like Connie. 5 days ago, Connie was playing against John Fangley, so it's great.
Okay, so tell us a bit about your work and what you're doing around the country. So obviously this week you were with Table Tennis Australia working in the National Hopes Camp. You did the World Junior Championships in early December, late November last year, part of some Oceania events throughout the year. But then you've also got a role with Wynnum. So let's just start with the national role that you've been working in. How have you been finding that experience?
The national team. So I started in April last year at the Australian Junior Open in Darwin, and followed up with Oceania Juniors and World Juniors as well. And this year, so the Hopes. I'm very happy to be involved with Table Tennis Australia and the national program. There is a lot of work going on at the moment with John and yourself. It's really being developing at the moment, and it's good to see, and I'm very happy to be a part of it when I can.
So with our last few matches, we've had some of the kids involved, and we've been talking about the pathways that sort of table tennis offers, from the National Hopes to the National World Cadets to the international. Sorry, from National Hopes to International Hopes to the World Cadets to the World Juniors, and even programs like the Rough Diamonds. For Australian table tennis, for the past 18 months, it's been quite similar. It's about sort of getting involved at this event at the National Hopes to sort of show your coaching skills, let's say, to work with the coaches to then potentially take the players away to the Oceania Hopes, receive feedback from coaches like Eva Gallo, world leading coaches, and then start to integrate into the national system on a more regular basis, maybe in a state training centre. So can you just tell us a bit about your sort of pathway and how it's sort of all led to, ultimately, leading a camp like this with John Murphy, the head coach, but also going to the World Junior Championships?
Yeah, so it's, for the Hopes, I just want to talk about the Hopes a little bit. In Queensland, we started having state Hopes and regional Hopes in 2017. So I think it was the first state in the country to have these state and regional Hopes. So
just to interrupt you, I did mention that in our previous, which is very good. So I'm glad you're talking about that. Yeah, that Queensland are the first and still the only state Hopes event. And you were part of that with Gary Wormsley introducing that.
Yes, so
yep,
Gary.
Sorry, keep going.
Gary was leading this program, and since then we've made sure that the winners and players selected were funded to come to the National Hopes. As you said, it's really part of the pathway, and that's what Australia is developing very well at the moment. Not only to the international level, but also going from club level to state level, and from state level to national level. This is the way I see it, is like a pyramid. You start in your club, then you get involved in your state.
Are we talking for the players,
level.
right?
Yes, for the players completely, and also for the coaches. You know, the knowledge that you have at club level, maybe you will get a little bit more at state level, maybe a little bit more again at national, and even more at international level. So it's really, as I said, a pyramid, club level at the bottom, followed by state level, national level, and for the top, international level. And it's very good to see everything going together at the moment when we see this National Hopes Week. There is a live stream, there is commentating. We're definitely on the right track and following the international pathway.
Very good. And on the coaches' progression, once sort of, let's just talk. Maybe move our attention to Wynnum table tennis. Have you got any kids here at the National Hopes from the Wynnum club?
Yeah, we have 3 players. So we have Jerry Zhang in the boys, and Hanyul Kim and Eugene Hong with the girls. So they work at Wynnum table tennis. So with myself, with Philippe Peño, French coach as well. Paul Kwasinski.
A very French affair in Wynnum.
Yes, a very French crowd. So yeah, we have 4 coaches.
Sorry, just to interrupt you one more time. You must be the only 2 French people in Wynnum.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
We definitely are the only 2 French people in Wynnum.
You were saying 4 coaches.
Yes, 4 coaches and Dennis Rylat, who helps whenever he can. We are also gonna integrate Hayden Green, who is now a senior as part of the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. We spoke about it the other time, about the transition between junior and senior, and how do we keep our old juniors, young seniors into the game. And I personally believe that giving back to the community, giving back to the younger generations is something that is very important, and is something that I see at Loops as well, with Xavier Dixon being involved, with Finn as well. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do, having a big team of coaches for a big team of players, and working all together in order to generate the best possible outcome.
Absolutely. Strength in numbers, Frank.
Yes, strength
in numbers and the French.
Yes.
Great play there from Connie. So Connie's now got 2 wins, 0 losses. The number 2 seed Ejin Hisui, as we saw in the previous round, has had her first loss. Jasmine Wu looks like the surprise packet of the girls' singles. 9-7. It's a pretty good effort here from the young Queenslander, getting the 7 points in this set. As Frank said, it's all about the experience, and Connie's just come off the Olympic trials, playing people like Jan Fang Lei, Michelle Beaumont, Melissa Tapper, etc. So pretty good effort here to get to 8 points. Obviously the Townsville Table Tennis Club doing some good things. We might just take a 1-minute break and come back after the coaches' messages. And then, okay, we're back. So 2-0, Connie Fsihogios. If we don't end up having enough time to talk about all the things that are happening in Queensland and for you and the club out at Wynnum, we might bring you back a bit later during these early rounds and have a bit more of a chat. But what's next for Wynnum Table Tennis, or Frank the Rogue Rodriguez?
Well, for Wynnum Table Tennis, what's next is Queensland Juniors from the 4th to the 8th of April in Brisbane Table Tennis.
It's always a pretty big affair, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, approximately 100 players battling it out for 5 days. So yeah, very big tournament.
And just to put it in perspective, it's basically like a national championships. People are flying into the state to play the state championships, basically.
Yes, it's like if you're in Cairns, flying to Brisbane, it's like 2,000 kilometers. So it's a very big thing. Then we'll have seniors national.
Wynnum Table Tennis. How many athletes will Wynnum be taking to that event approximately?
Probably between 20 and 25.
What's the selection process there?
If you train enough and want to play, you're gonna play.
Okay.
That's basically it.
So
that's basically it. We really want to send players to the state championship that have a decent training volume and are happy to compete. We don't want to burn kids off by sending them and getting killed and then not wanting to play table tennis again. We really want to make sure that they're ready to play and ready to compete.
Yeah, I asked Ashley Robinson from the Loops Club earlier the same question about the National Hopes He said he's got 5, I think he said, players playing in the National Hopes, and on a Thursday night we have national squad training here at Loops, and I'll see 30 kids practicing who are all under the age of 12, and 5 have made the cut, and there wasn't a tournament, there wasn't anything like that. It's more what you're sort of describing. It's a coach's selection and just conversation, and you just got to work out whether they're ready.
Yeah, I think that for something like this, coach's discretion is quite important. Obviously, communicating with the parents and the players, but yeah, the worst thing that you can have is a player going to a tournament where they're not ready for it. And after one day, they either don't come anymore or don't want to play anymore. It's lose-lose in this scenario.
Okay, so we move on from the state championships. Where do we go then?
We stay at Brisbane Table Tennis for seniors and youth national championships and para championships as well.
Oh wow, you guys have got the state championships before the nationals.
Yes, a few days before. So for some juniors, it's gonna be a long 10 days with state championships followed by seniors nationals. Brisbane is going to be basically the capital of table tennis.
Well, I tell you, I mean, from Table Tennis Australia's perspective, their scheduling this year has been pretty impressive. Just to sort of speak about it on air, anyone that's listening, it's been a festival of table tennis in the Melbourne area for this past week, and then in April we're moving to Brisbane, Queensland, for a second festival of table tennis.
How good to have a tour that is like this. It's amazing. I arrived in Australia 5 years ago. It was completely different. It's booming. Table tennis seems to be booming in terms of structure, in terms of athletes. Now it's
even the number of players at this National Hopes, 40 plus kids last week. So that's fantastic. As I said, I'll probably want to bring you back for the next round, Frank, if you're free, or one of the next rounds where you're free.
Yes.
Come in, have a bit more of a chat. Let's keep talking Queensland table tennis, Australian table tennis, the Rogue, Roges table tennis's career, and maybe some of your upcoming star athletes as well.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Frank.
Simon.